I'm obsessed. I am obsessed, okay?
When do I look at the camera? When do I look? Hi
Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alishabrittany, and if you didn't know, now you know. Today, y'all, we are trying black girl tape-ins. This is the final result, and when I tell you I'm obsessed, I am obsessed, okay? These are the black girl tape-ins that, you know, the girls have been raving about, and let me tell you, they are everything that they are cracked up to be. So if you want to see just how I was able to install this hair, be sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and keep on watching. Okay guys, so here are the bundles that I used for my hair. These are 18 to 20 inch clip-ins from Curlsqueen. All the information on this hair will be down in the description box. I just want to say a quick thank you to Curlsqueen for sending me this hair. They sent me about 80 pieces, which was more than enough. So if you see how long and how thick my hair is, you will know that that is just the right amount for you. Here are a few items that I need, guys. I just want to say before this video gets started, this is one of those hairstyles that takes a lot of patience as well as a little bit of delicacy when doing it in order not to rip out your hair. So guys, here's my before of my hair. I just got this hair silk pressed out and cut and trimmed, so that is one thing that I will say that I think from next time maybe it will help my hair blend a little bit better if I don't just get a trim right before I do this. However, here I am sectioning off pieces of my hair. So when you're sectioning off, I knew that I would mostly wear this hair in a middle part and sometimes with kind of like a flip over method. If you're familiar with Ivy's flip over method when she does her sew-ins, then that is kind of what I wanted to mimic. I'm just going ahead and pulling out pieces of my hair on the sides, and this is just to make sure that I will have enough on the sides to cover if I do want to put my hair in a ponytail. This is why the clips are important. Using these clips will help with guidance when you are installing the tape-ins, and multiple times throughout this installation I actually take the sections out that I am parting to make sure that they are enough, or that it is enough hair to cover the pieces that I want. So I just went ahead and parted it in the middle and on the sides as well as in the back, because majority of the tape-ins will be used in the middle part of your head. That will be that small ponytail that you should see shortly. Quickly, I'm going to briefly touch on diagonal parting and why I think it's so important. In order to make sure that this hairstyle remains natural looking and very achievable, it is very important to not do such strict, direct, straight lines, because you don't always put your ponytail in the same place, right? Sometimes we have high ponytails, sometimes we have low ponytails. So doing diagonal parts helps greatly when trying to achieve a natural base or foundation for this hairstyle. So shortly we're going to get started on doing the tape-in install, you guys. When you are installing the tape-ins, you do not want to clip the tape-ins onto any pieces of hair because it will snag your hair, which is why these Velcro pieces are extremely, extremely helpful when doing this by yourself. I used my comb to kind of measure, but you do not want to place your tape in at the very, very root of your hair because it will be hard to put up or move to the right or to the left. So the first one that I did, I think I ended up taking this one out, but I'm just using the comb to measure the width of how I'm installing the tape in. And as you can see, when you lift the hair up, not all of your hair that you tape in or put the tape in on top of, not all of that hair actually gets stuck to the tape in. So there's only about a few strands that's actually getting, you know, attached to the tape in extension, which is actually great because I know a lot of people have, you know, had concerns about snagging or anything like that. But when you think about it, it's really just not as many strands. And also placing this knot at the very root of your hair is what's going to make sure that this does not break off your hair in any way. This again was my first time installing the tape-ins, and I did have to remove these a few times. So I think it's important to note that when you are installing these tape-ins, it does not stick automatically. So when you are installing it, the tape does not automatically glue and stick down and make it hard to remove. You do have a few minutes of being able to gently remove the tape-ins from your hair. So after I place the bottom in a sandwich method, this is how the final one is looking. Don't worry, you guys, I'm going to show you guys a few more times just so you can see how it's looking. This is my hair after a complete row of it is done. And in between every time I did this hairstyle, I went ahead and I brushed up my hair so I could make sure that the very nape of my hair was covering the tapes. So this is an example of how every time I did a tape, I would go back or remove it or replace it or see what I needed to do. So here's another time of me installing, and I'm just going to let you guys see, and I'll be back.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Hey. Still not understanding this logic. Hey. Back and I'm better. Want you bad as ever. Don't let me just let up. I wanna give you better. Baby, it's whatever. Somebody else step up. Somebody's next up. We never feel like catch up. It's easy to see that you're fitter. I am on a whole nother level. Girl, he only fucked you over cause you let him. Girl, I guess he didn't know any better. Girl, that man didn't show any ever. Do all I can just to show you you're special. Flirting is your love that holds me together. Lately you say he been killing the vibe. Gotta be sick of this type. Pull up skirt, get in the right. Left hand is steering, the other is gripping your thigh. Light up a spliff and get high. Shout it, who these girls, but you been missing. Looking at you, I'm thinking he must be living. Ladies, don't want them, just listen. And a day so fly, baby, no propane. Not good, pussy girl, gotta be framed. If you 100, girl, I ain't no saint. But you the only reason that I'm feeling this way. Baby, you the world, baby, we get space, pen, gang, give me day, baby, let's penetrate. Oh, baby.
So guys, like I briefly mentioned earlier in the video, diagonal parting is so important when doing the very front of your hair. So after I installed all of the layers in the middle part of my hair, here is me doing my diagonal tape ins. And when I say diagonal, I mean I'm just not going in a straight line, but I'm kind of going diagonally against my hair. This just helped so much because if I do want to put my hair in a high bun and when I put it in a high ponytail, I don't want the tape ins to be flat back because that would hurt the most, if that makes sense. It's definitely going to snag a little bit. And here you can see I was kind of really getting the hang of it towards the end of it. And as you can see, how simply it is for me to kind of just put that first tape in and make sure I get all the flyaways and get the ones that are sticking to the tape in up into that hair. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that sandwich method again and tape the bottom and go ahead and secure that tape in. You guys, again, this hairstyle takes so much patience, but once you get it, I think it's definitely such a natural and innovative way to wear extensions and still be able to have that natural kind of glam feel and look. But what's going to save you the most and make sure that this comes out right is definitely going back and lifting up your hair, just like I'm doing here, to make sure that it's covering, make sure that when you brush it, you're able to not see that tape in, because that's what's going to give the emphasis that this is naturally your hair, girl. And when you can't tell me that this is not my hair. You cannot tell me that this hair is not growing from my scalp. Now that I have worn it for a couple of days and I'm used to it, I'm getting used to how it feels in my hair, and it's just amazing. Another thing that I wanted to note, which was a question that I had when getting the tape ins, was the texture, or what texture I should get to most closely match my hair. And the method that I kind of figured I would use was just kind of how my hair looks when it is in its wet state, and how I would be able to manipulate my hair without causing any damage. So this is my hair obviously blown out and straightened, and I think it's for the best that you install this hair when it is kind of straightened and dry, so that way you're able to see it more. Because if your hair is any type of texture or curly, you know that shrinkage is important, and shrinkage is something that happens to us, our hair, naturally. So in a straightened state, I'm able to get more of a better measurement of where exactly I should place the tape in. That way when I do wet it and it's curly, I won't have such an issue. And y'all, do you see this hair? I'm starting to feel myself right here in this clip. I'm putting this baby all up in bed, and I'm like, oh baby, what? Do you see that? Gorgeous. Okay, here is the tape-in straightened and still in a ponytail. And again, you guys, literally growing from my scalp. The only thing that I had to do to this hair was color match it, because I had just dyed my hair jet black, so I had to dye the bundles jet black. But baby, you cannot tell me that this is not my hair in a messy bun. And of course, I had to add some curls, some life, some body to this hair, because I just wanted to, I kind of wanted to get that movement. Again, you guys, when you are installing any type of weave or extensions, it's not always the best way to leave it for the length. Honey, I want some weight, I want some volume, I want some curls. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch this, and then I'll be back a little bit later.
Strawberries make everything sexy, yeah. Shadows dancing on the wall. I wanna rock with you. Let's converse. Talk with your body, don't say anything at all. Fuck with you. Wanna fuck with you.
Alright guys, just a few more final notes that I had. Definitely was writing things down while I was watching this video, and just, kind of answering my own questions. This hair definitely mimics real hair, in the sense that it definitely gave that kind of like Dominican blowout, but still natural hair, which still had a lot of body. Again, I am natural, I do not have a relaxer, so my hair was actually blown out at the Dominicans. And then once I did this hair, I kind of still wanted it to have that still thick, voluminous texture, and shout out to Curlsqueen, because that hair did just that. Another thing to note, guys, when using utensils or styling tools, do not use that kind of wet brush that you use to detangle regular weave, because you will snag your hair. And I did snag my hair a little bit in the back, and I am now putting that brush down until I take these bad babies out. You kind of want to get that hard brush, or maybe even a wide tooth comb like I was using. But aside from that, y'all, this hair is top tier. Again, shout out to Curlsqueen, because they did that, these tape-ins, you guys. If I haven't been able to convince you to get these, then I'm gonna just give up. So guys, this is the final product. I'm loving how this hair is feeling, and I am loving how this hair looks. Altogether, guys, I used about 74 pieces. Curlsqueen sent me 80, which I think counts as like 2 bundles of hair. And I got them in the inches 18 to 20, which is just sits right below my bosom. I did cut them a little bit. I feel like when you cut it, it kind of gives it a little bit more weight on the bottom, and I went ahead and added some layers and some curls. If you guys want a dedicated video on styling these, I would be more than happy to show you guys. And I just went ahead and did some pin curls and then let them sit for a little bit, and this is my final result. You guys, I see why the girls are going crazy over tape ends. I love the versatility of these tape ends. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is to brush them back. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me get closer. Just how easy it is to brush these back into a ponytail. It literally feels so weightless, you guys. So I ended up doing this video last night. I styled it today. So here's just a quick, if you could see the top of my hair. It's so flat. I am definitely someone who is going to be investing in these more often. Just to show you the back of how it would sit if I had a ponytail. The way that you lay these is what's most important, you guys. I just watched a few tutorials and I kind of just took notes, and then I went ahead and went along with the natural pattern of my head. I was a little scared at first. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared because I thought maybe I wouldn't have enough, or my hair wasn't thick enough for the tape ends, especially because my hair is like a totally different texture when it's straight versus when it's a little bit more in its natural state of just washed and blow dried. Oh, excuse me. I was a little bit nervous about if they were going to work well with my hair texture, but they do really blend seamlessly. I am natural. I do not have a perm. I just went ahead and got my hair cut. That is the only thing that I think is sticking out to me right now. I just got my ends trimmed and got them clipped. So, you know, when you first get your ends trimmed and you got those like blunt cuts in your hair, they kind of stick out a little bit more than they would if you didn't have that cut. However, the versatility of this hairstyle is just amazing, you guys. I went to sleep with these last night and I literally did not feel anything. It feels so weightless. It feels like you have nothing in your hair. I mean, honestly, I went to sleep with a bonnet. I thought it was going to be uncomfortable. Didn't happen at all. A couple of times, one thing that I do think I'll do for the next time is definitely probably try a different texture. I definitely think maybe I could even go a little bit straighter in its natural state. However, I am excited to see how this hair looks in its wet state. I will be posting a 2 or actually maybe like a 4-week update when I do wash my hair, just to see how I'm able to get it to blend, if it's still gonna blend the same. But so far so good, you guys. A couple of notes about when you are installing the tape ends. It definitely does take a little practice at first. If you're not someone who's used to doing your hair on your own, I definitely would suggest having a friend, maybe your boyfriend, or you know, someone who you live with to help you, guide you in the back. I did have to take the tapes out a couple of times, but however, it did not bond immediately. So immediately when you put the tape on your hair, it does not stick to the point where like a hair glue would kind of stick. It sticks a little, but it's easy removable if you take your time. And I did have to remove mine a few times in order to get the placement correctly, but this again was my first time doing it, so I feel like that's totally normal. If you guys like this tutorial, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns, or if you liked it, share it with a friend, and as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.